This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow-melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, so there's a pair of Michael Jordan's used boxers that were on the auction block over the weekend. And somebody actually wanted them and paid over $2,700 for them.
Man, I'm so glad nobody outbid me. I mean, yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, why would someone want Michael Jordan's underwear?
Yeah. The boxers came with a dry cleaning tag, and according to the listing, they showed evidence of definite use, whatever that means.
Are they like someone even texted saying, are they the Hanes ad thing? He used to do ads for Hanes. Are they like the white boxer? They are actually the ones that they're white boxer briefs that say Jordan on them.
They say Jordan themselves. So they're his own. It's got his own little logo down the bottom too, in the left the left pant part or the left leg, whatever the hell it is. So that's not even. I'm looking
at the top also in the logo on the bottom, and then also on the top it just says Jordan.
Yeah,
I don't know if he worked with Hanes to make those or. He just has. How much of a baller are you that you have your own customized boxer briefs?
I think you are a big baller. Yeah.
That might be why they're custom.
It's funny because when you're a kid and you have your name on your underwear, you're not baller. But as an adult, if you have it custom made, you are very baller.
There's a big difference between a Sharpie that says Steve and then.
I don't know. What's the difference? About $2,700.
So are they game used like from like back in his basketball days, or is these just like boxers that he was wearing, hanging around, eating dinner, or whatever it may be?
I guess the underwear was provided by Jordan's friend and bodyguard John Michael Wozniak, who you may know him. He was in that Last Dance documentary. He also provided some suits, coats, dress shirts, and ties for the auction.
I have so many questions. Like, did Jordan give these to him and said, "Hey,
I hope so.
Make some money, sell these if you want"? Or did Jordan leave them behind and the guy just pocketed them and put them on the internet?
It's very possible. If Michael Jordan may have just like a ton of clothes. How does he remember what he has? I suppose I would remember if I had underwear with my own name on them, though. That'd be kind of cool.
But it also said, it didn't say ex-friend and ex-bot. Like, so this is someone that's still his friend. Like, if all of a sudden I go online and I see that Danny is selling my underwear.
Yeah.
I'm going to call Danny and be like, dude, A, how did you get them? And B, why are you doing this?
If you've got Jordan money, though, do you care? If you've got Jordan money, though. And Jordan
I feel weird knowing my friend is selling my underwear.
Yeah.
No matter how rich I am, if my friend's selling my underwear, I think that's an awkward. I think you've crossed the line.
Yeah. All right, then. So no matter how crazy rich you get, and no matter what crazy rich people stuff you see as you're hanging out in those circles, you're still going to be like, no, this is over. This is weird.
Well, at least give me a heads up.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, by the way,
underwear that you left behind, I took it and I put it on eBay.
Okay. Remember that one Super Bowl party we had?
Yeah.
I took some stuff.
Yeah.
See, I don't like the underwear because it says it has evidence of being used. To me, that's a little personal. But if you took like a shirt or, but I feel like my underwear is kind of intimate.
You don't want championship skid marks?
I really don't. Don't want them.
Oh, dear.
What blows my mind is that the underwear sold more than like one of his putters. I'm looking at the auction page of all the things. Like the putter sold for $436.
Yeah, I'm not a golfer, but I am a guy that needs underwear.
He didn't sweat into that putter.
Wait,
I mean,
Steve,
you would think.
Steve, as a guy who needs underwear, are you going to buy those underwears and then wear them?
Yes.
All right, good to know.
If I'm dropping nearly $3,000 for Michael Jordan's underwear, you bet your ass on Monday mornings I'd probably tell you guys, check this out. I'm wearing Michael Jordan's underwear.
Yeah, you would.
and they fit a little loose on me, but you know what? It's cool.
I would also like to point out, Vicky, that if you said that you had a putter that you would be willing to sell it to any listener on the air, no one's going to pay you what that guy paid you for your underwear that was framed. People like underwear on human beings for some reason. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, bring a Vicky. A lot of people are texting saying, hey, don't forget, Vicky got just a few hundred, haha. Yeah. I bet hers didn't have her name on them. That's why.
I did sign it, so it eventually did have my name on it. It was with the Sharpie, though, so same thing. Like you were saying, it's a difference.
It wasn't like a stitching.
Still, I never got $400 for any pair of my underwear. See,
it's probably not going to happen either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's such a weird thing to also not only just sell, but for somebody to actually say that's the thing I want. I'm clicking bid now. Like,
I don't know. How do you show that off to people and they don't look at you like you're weird? Like even if you frame it and say, "Look, this is a piece of memorabilia," I'm just like, I don't know, man.
You know what? You say that though, but if we were over at somebody's house. And let's just say it was we're at Danny's house. I don't know why I keep using Danny as my example, but you're right here. And you're like, guys, you want to see in my little man cave, I have Michael Jordan's underwear framed. I'd be like, yeah, let's go.
Or at that point, not even tell you. We're just going to go watch the game, and you'd be like, why do you have underwear on? It's like, that's Michael Jordan's. You'd be like, that's amazing.
I would probably think that's pretty cool.
Granted, that's a good way to do it, Danny. Slow roll it. Don't bring him in the room. Just let him notice that you got a pair of underwear in a frame.
Act like it's no big deal. It's like a jersey.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know why. It's just something about underwear. I think it's weird, but all right, you're right, Steve. I suppose I'd be curious to see, what do you do, Danny? It's a great conversation piece.
No, what happens, let's just say Michael Jordan shows up to town and he's doing an autograph signing. Do you show up with that underwear to get it signed?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you're all in at this point.
And then at that point, you just put the blame on wherever you bought it from. It's like, dude, I just bought it. I don't know. Your friend is the one that put it up there.
Yeah, your buddy sent it to me.
And you have a great chance that he will have a bad reaction, which will be great. I mean,
I think it's almost guaranteed you'll have a bad reaction. Just basing this off of that documentary. I don't think Michael Jordan seems like a fun-loving guy.
Yeah.
You got my underwear. No way. I'll sign that for free. You want me to draw a dong on this? You got it.
Yeah. Man. That's awesome.
Or then you bring it and then he says, I never wore these underwear.
I wear thongs.
Yeah. You just spent $2,700 for nothing.
That would be awesome.
I don't even think there's a single person's underwear that I would want to own.
No.
Really?
I never thought I'd say that sentence out loud.
Not even an adult star, maybe somewhere? Yeah, okay.
That's never been the thing. I need their underwear.
Especially in that voice. I'm glad it's not a thing. I think we'd have to have you arrested.
I don't know how else to say it.
I
need their underwear.
You sound so refined.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Jordan. What? I need your underwear.
Your underwear. Give it to me. Now.
All right.
No.
Where is your underwear and what do they do?
It's not a panties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right now we wonder, geez, we went from a serial killer getting underwear to new Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that must be done.
Hey, look, if you want to sound refined, talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's all you got to do. That is it. If you were listening last week, we were playing the new Guns N' Roses song, Hard School.
Yes.
It turns out they're doing an EP coming out with that. But February 25th, unfortunately, no holiday gifts for you. February 25th is when the EP's coming out.
You could do the pre-order and do those little creative things where you print the pre-order thing and then put it in a box and then say, hey, look.
Put a gigantic box and it's got, you get this pre-order.
It's just a little photocopy or something.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's right. And plus, you can get it on CD. You can get it on vinyl, which I think that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or also would be kind of cool is you can get it on cassette. So
Why is
how
that
about
cool? I don't have a cassette player.
Well, I mean, the idea
It's
being
a collector's item at that
exactly.
point.
How cool is it that you actually? I mean, I love that they're going old school with some of the way that they're delivering their media. Hell, and for some people, even CDs are old school. So yeah,
So
4
can you
songs.
stream it? I guess the song's available to be streamed, so I guess technically.
Can you stream it? Is it not on all the services yet?
I
like
think
Hard
it must
School?
be. Yeah, I got to imagine it is. I listened to it just on a video on YouTube. I didn't even think about like checking my streaming services, but Absurd is on the streaming services, I believe.
Yeah, so Hard School, of course, is going to be on there. Absurd, like you just said. And live versions of Don't Cry and You're Crazy.
Yep, the Hard School is available for it to be streamed. So
personally, really, what you want to do, I think, because, I mean,
it's about the collector's item.
Yeah, everybody has a streaming service of some sort, I would imagine. So you really want to get like the CD, the vinyl, or the cassette, or maybe Axl's underwear.
Yes.
Whatever.
I believe that comes with the box set.
Yeah, that's it.
So I was having, I think, this conversation with Ryan on Friday. We were talking about the song and how much we dig it. But I was like, yeah, it's cool. But it's like it's another one of their reworked songs from the Chinese democracy sessions, just so like
it's
Absurd.
It's not current. It's not something they went in and just did now.
Right. Like I got a feeling maybe they changed some things here and there. They obviously changed the titles to both of the songs because they had different working titles, cleaned them up and made them more current, which is cool. But I was like, do we ever think there'll be a day where those guys will be in a room and write a new record again? You know what I mean? Where it's like and I was like, I don't know if I feel like, Slash and Axl are getting along, but that might be where things could get a little bit sketch because now all of a sudden you're being creative with each other, you're bouncing ideas, you're going to have to sometimes, accept that your idea is not the best idea or you're going to be, maybe stubborn and say, no, it has to be this way. I feel like that's where arguments would start. So I wonder if they're just like, you know what? We're doing this kind of stuff. We're giving you some newish material, but the idea of actually putting out new material might not ever happen for the mental sanity of the band.
Yeah, it's interesting because I look at this like baby steps.
I hope you're right.
But Steve, you no doubt about it. Everything you just said is a strong possibility, and that's why it's like, oh man. I would love to hear what they would write about today, because that's what you get from Pearl Jam. You really get to, they write about where they are in their life. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, like, can Guns N' Roses write some compelling stuff about where they are right now? Especially, I look at Duff. I don't know the other guys, but we've been fortunate enough to know Duff. Mm-hmm. And Duff is definitely a different dude than he was back in those days. Yeah, and it would be great to hear where they are and see if they can make great music based on where they are.
And I really dig stuff that like Duff does with Duff McKagan's Loaded. I also dig a lot of the stuff that Slash does with his solo project. So they're able to write cool songs. And then you add Axl in, and then other members of the band hopefully can be a part of it as well. But like I have a feeling it would be cool. I just wonder if they just don't want to even tackle that because they just know, because touring right now, you got Axl probably in one bus, you got Slash in another bus, maybe Duff in his own bus as well. And they don't have to see each other until the moment they get on stage. They know these songs, maybe sound check, if that. But they're at a point where they really, the only time they spend together is the 2.5 hours on stage, but you're not really doing anything other than playing music with each other. Like to put them in a room where they have to be creative again, I don't know.
Can technology help? Because I know a lot of people are doing that where they're basically, they're using Zoom and whatever to basically be collaborative, but they don't have to leave their homes.
Yeah, you can bounce ideas off each other, but at some point, somebody's going to have to like give up their creation to be like okay with someone else's ideas. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're just going to be like, here's the songs, this is how they go. No changes are made. But I wonder about that. And I just wonder if we'll ever get a new Guns N' Roses record of actual new songs.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope this is baby steps. That this, this rework stuff of the old stuff is baby steps to exactly that. I'd be interested to see what these guys can do today.
Someone said, I'm surprised they're not putting it out on 8-track as well. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think for a lot of folks, though, 8-track is something they never experienced.
I never experienced 8-track.
Yeah, and look, you're one. Outside of me, you're the next generation that would have had a shot at it. So
did Rev rock 8-tracks? I don't even, because he's a little bit more of like old school and his way of being with the bee's knees. And
I didn't rock 8-tracks, but my awesome uncle who drove us around in his Pacer did have an 8-track player in there, and we did rock out to some Sticks.
Yeah, see, I feel like there would be people who would dig just because of the idea. It's like going back to the old-timey days, who would dig an 8-track. And maybe if somebody could make a cheap 8-track player that you can plug into your stereo system, just for giggles to see how that technology worked. How a song had to be cut off in the middle if it was too long while it flipped to the next track. I just feel like there's something to be experienced for people like that who never got to experience what an 8-track thing was. I feel like there may be a market. I don't know. I could be crazy.
The people that are into the worst possible way to consume music.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of music, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you may or may not have heard this. I don't know. But if you haven't, I am happy to tell you that KISW is presenting Tool at the Tacoma Dome on January 11th.
Dude, just announced this morning, about an hour ago, they put the big announcement out that Tool are going back on the road.
So this is big news, as you know, as we're starting to get back to our real lives and getting to see concerts again. Listen all week between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. to get the code word. And then what you do is head to the contest page at KISW.com, and you can enter for your chance to win tickets to see Tool. The code word this morning, all right, listen, I know this is going to be tough to remember, but if you want to win tickets to the Tool show, you need to remember this code word, Tool. I know, it's tough. I'm going to talk to Ryan.
It down. Hold on.
I'm going to talk to Ryan Castle. It's like, can you make these code words easier? The code word is Tool. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. That's, 10 a.m. time. I know what I'm doing. Ticketmaster.com is where you're going this Friday. Details, you got them, especially when I'm confusing the issue. Go to KISW.com. And again, the code word, I know it's tough, Tool. So, this I wasn't sure about. I saw a lot of people send me the story. I didn't believe it, but Captain Kirk, is he really going to space? The Final Frontier. I'll tell you all about this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the Smart Whirlpool Top Load Washer, featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You know, man, I have to say that the way William Shatner does his career is very, very impressive. The guy is always finding a way to get himself noticed. And when you're an entertainer who eventually will, the luster will be gone, you won't be so shiny, and there'll be somebody new coming around, to somehow be relevant in every decade that he's been performing is just amazing to me. And he's back in the news again. He's going to be riding Jeff Bezos's rocket. He's going to go to space. Going to go into orbit next month.
Wait, Shatner's getting inside the giant dong ship?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's the first thing I thought, too.
Space.
Yeah.
A final frontier.
Well, and there have been some people who have been, if you want to go on Facebook and read the horrible comments, because some people, William Shatner does have a reputation every once in a while in his career not being the greatest guy. And so somebody said, oh, look, a Richard is going up on a ship that looks like a Richard.
Oh. Well, it's always, the internet, it's rare that there's miserable people on there. So
I know, it's hard to believe. 90 years old.
Space Dong.
William Shatner will be the oldest person ever to go to space. And of course, William Shatner, he's like, of course I'll do that. I'll go do that in a heartbeat. 82-year-old Wally Funk was pretty much the oldest guy that went up into space when he went with Bezos. And how about Wally's like, well, hey, you know what? This will be good. I don't think anyone's ever going to break this record.
Boom, Shatner comes in.
And Bezos is the guy doing it. It's like, if you're Wally, you're like, Jeff, the one thing we talked about is I'd be the oldest guy. Come on.
But he was the first oldest guy.
Wally Funk's actually a woman.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, really?
Mary Wallace. Wally Funk.
Wally Funk. I forgot that. You're right.
Thank you, Vicky.
Still the oldest woman, I guess.
Oldest woman. Boom.
Okay, so yeah, she's got that. Cool. Good call.
It's crazy they asked William Shatner why he even wanted to do it, and his answer was this.
I'm just a sexy boy.
I mean, why else would you ride in a giant space dong?
I'm not your boy.
Yeah, that's right. He just released his new album, too. I mean, the guy is just he continues to say, here I am, I'm William Shatner.
And I feel like, I don't know, since hitting like 70, he hasn't aged.
You're right.
The last 20 years, I feel like I would not be able to tell you what is 70-year-old William Shatner and what is 90-year-old William Shatner. Unless something changed drastically recently. But the last couple pictures I saw of him, he just looked no different.
Yeah, he's because he's a little heavier, his face is fuller. Therefore, you just don't see as many wrinkles as you think you would.
So fat is nature's Botox.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so true.
Time to get that double whopper today.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just remember, Steve, you get a little older, put a couple of pounds on, you're going to look amazing.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, for 90 years old, you're absolutely right. He looks very, very vibrant.
For 70 years old, I'd be like, he's looking pretty good.
Listen, I mean, I'm getting closer to that 70 number.
Oh, so it's
yeah, right.
I know. I mean, I think I want to think I look a little better than a 90-year-old at 70. Come on.
Well, so it's a rarity. It's not Shatner's it's not like all 90-year-olds look like they're 70.
I think he still rides horses too and stuff, and so I think he's relatively active considering his age.
He's going to space.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's worrying a lot of fans. Is like, I mean, is he healthy enough to do this? I mean, breaking the gravity of Earth and all that. I feel like that puts some strain on your body.
Somebody said though he has to sing Rocket Man right before he takes off.
Oh hell yeah!
Because he did do that cover.
Yeah,
Rocket Man.
I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fumes out here.
Hello. How does Bezos not play this and pipe this through that spaceship?
I bet he will. He needs to redo it. He sounds too young.
Unbelievable. I'm impressed with William Shatner, how he does his business.
Man,
really am.
Somebody has a very good point. Bezos definitely is a trend with him. First, he built the giant spherical things here in Seattle, and now the rocket that looks like a dong. They believe that his plan is to find a way to land that rocket next to those spherical balls.
How cool would that be?
Makes sense.
That would be so cool.
That would put Seattle on the map again.
Oh, yeah? Oh, we're off the map.
And how?
Didn't know we were off the map. We're back. Oh, all right, so that'll put us back on.
And thanks to photographer Photog Jim, for giving us that theory. Yeah, I feel like, this is like, we had grunge put Seattle on the map on a national level. Seahawks went into the Super Bowl. Jeff Bezos and his boys.
Yeah. Well, it's Jeff doesn't want to be outdone by Elon Musk with his basically high school humor. You know what I mean? He's not going to, you're not going to out high school humor me, Elon.
So there's two celebrity people we just cannot put at risk, though, and that's William Shatner and Betty White. Yeah. What if they both go on the spaceship together?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
We haven't heard much, though, from Betty White these days.
Yeah, except on her birthday. I think she, was it her 90th or 91st birthday? I can't remember what she just celebrated.
I thought she's pushing 100.
99.
Yeah.
She's 99.
Oh, so she turns
100 next January.
Whoa. She's going to be 100 next January?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow. Then we have to, we can't let anything happen to Betty. She's got to hit the century mark. She has to.
Well, maybe that's the way you do it. You send them to space, and then they come back rejuvenated.
They meet up with the aliens, the Martians, and then they have like some kind of special fluid put in them.
The moon milk.
Yes, the moon milk to get squirted in them.
You want aliens putting fluid in you because usually they do it rectally, and that's not a good
Well, whatever it takes to look young, right, BJ?
Yeah.
Right, BJ?
Wow.
I think you were called out there.
First off, I don't look young, which means I have not been letting the aliens violate me. You're saying I should. All right,
Yes.
fair enough. Okay. As long as they're gentle, I suppose that'll be fine.
Wow.
So does it also the Amazon Prime logo? It looks just like a dong with the arrowhead and the upward curve. Come on.
Okay. Are we really? I mean, we've all. I mean, come on.
I mean, great. That means all the Kraken have little dongs on their heads.
So it's not a smile. It's really been a dong this whole time.
Why not both? See, now I can't unsee that. A couple of days ago, my wife and I were we wanted the backstory about Peppa Pig versus Bluey because they're kind of like the same show, the children's shows.
I would just like to pause just for a second to say this is how exciting your friggin' life is now. You're having debates about Peppa Pig and Bluey.
We just wanted answers.
I want to point that out. I want to go back in time and talk to Steve 10 years ago and go, hey, guess what exciting debate you're going to have in 10 years.
We were trying to figure out which came first because they both seem very similar. And so we had to do the research, but then as I do the research, there's some people that they're like, I don't like Peppa Pig because they all look like their pigs are drawn to look like dongs.
Yeah.
And I never noticed that until someone said it. Now that's all I see are these little dong animals that are like hanging out as a family snorting.
My ex would not let Lily watch it at all because she was like, it's too phallic shaped.
I didn't even I honestly didn't even think about that.
I didn't watch it. I feel like that's a stretch. I understand how you can think that way, but I guess.
See, I have to keep watching though because whenever I say you want to watch Peppa Pig, Tatum would just go. And so then all of a sudden the show plays because they snort like every 5 seconds on that show.
Yeah, they're pigs. Yeah.
Wow.
And so just in case those are wondering on the edge of their seats, Bluey came after Peppa Pig, and I guess the guy who created Bluey wanted to make a show that was like the Australian version of Peppa Pig.
That's how they
what
did
does Bluey look like? Does Bluey look like
dog.
maybe
he looks like a big, like a square dog. No.
No, come on, BJ, get your mind out of the gutter.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna go and make you got to do one for everybody.
It's just the same kind of like family dynamic. Dad's a goof.
Oh, Bluey, look at that. Boy,
He kind of looks like a bat dog.
Is Bluey a girl or a boy?
A girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Bluey should look like a vagine then. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If Peppa Pig looks like a penis, why can't Bluey look like a vagine? I mean, isn't that equal representation?
I'm okay with that representation not ever coming up ever.
Okay. Well, you know what?
I
don't think any execs at any of the stations at the BBC or whoever put this thing out long term.
Can we
talk about this? So it said, lighten up, people. Peppa Pig is awesome. I agree. I love Peppa Pig.
Oh, no. And Lily did eventually watch it, and she learned a lot from that show.
Like the British accent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The British accent was great.
That's so funny that they say that kids are now having like Australian and British accents because of Peppa Pig and Bluey.
Yeah, that is pretty weird, isn't it?
We're going to go on holiday. Lily used to say that a lot. Instead of vacation.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, because it's not just the accent, but it's just the way they speak and just saying words the way they were. Because there was a woman on a reality show that was born here but spent a lot of her life in England, and she has an Americanish accent but says things a lot of the ways the Brits say things. Like, gonna go on holiday, gotta get this sorted, and it's like, well, she's not quite British, but also she doesn't speak like an American. She speaks like Harry Potter. So
probably just watches Harry Potter and Peppa Pig.
Yeah,
that's what she's doing. You're right. Oh, I'm so happy I don't have to be in that world. I cannot tell you how much I am.
You will be soon.
Yeah.
Once the ring's on the finger, next thing you know. Babies are us.
Grandpa BJ.
Yeah, they're going to watch Star Trek at my house.
You say that until you realize that Coco Melon will calm them down, then you'll be watching Coco Melon.
Then we're going to watch Star Trek Lower Decks. It's a cartoon. All right?
I've tried that. I tried to watch He-Man. Doesn't work.
Damn it. Well, I'm going to start it young. I'm going to say, look, I'm going to feed them lots of candy, but they can only get the candy if they watch daddy shows. Or
even yesterday, I was like, for a while, I had her hooked. I'm like, I think she's digging the football game. And then the Seahawks started sucking. And I think she's going Coco Melon. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. So I put on Coco Melon and watched the rest of the Seahawks game on my phone.
Yeah, she knew what was up. She was like, Daddy, you don't want to watch the rest of this.
I was like, well, one will keep you calm so I can finish watching the game. I'll just have to watch it on my phone. All right, fine. I'll make that. And my wife's like, I never thought I'd see the day. I'm like, what do you want from me?
Wait, yeah.
What do you want from me?
Yeah, you got to do it, man. Well, maybe you should get an iPad. You know, at least have a bigger screen to watch it on.
Everything's a big screen if you put it close enough to your face.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Not wrong. I really can't disagree with that. On Friday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What was Joey's job on Friends?
He was entrepreneur.
No.
Bartender.
No.
He was actor.
Yes.
Wow, did you pull that out?
I knew it.
You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We'll play Beat Miggs. We'll do that at 8:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the Smart Whirlpool Top Load Washer featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.